Good day, everybody, and welcome to my capstone presentation. My name is Kelvin Altraide, Master of Water Security candidate, and today I'll be talking about flood modeling and culvert assessment in rural Saskatchewan. Over the course of this presentation, I will go through introducing the problem, model overview, application, culvert management solutions and assessment, talk a little bit about model limitations, and end with future solutions and recommendations. So earlier this year, our partner group, North Saskatchewan River Basin Council, NSRBC, came up with an idea that we could create a flood management / modeling tool for communities, farmers, managers, stakeholders, and show them the importance of managing culverts. So the first step was understanding prairie hydrology problems. And because we understand that storage depressions dominate prairie basins and are actively drained, we see downstream communities getting easily affected. And from the modeling side of things, because the current models work in warmer climate regions where rainfall is dominant, we don't see them working in the prairies. So Dr. Kevin Shook from Center for Hydrology came up with an idea that we can integrate hydrology model and hydraulic model to come up with a good prairie model result. And this starts by using the CREAM model. The CREAM model basically looks at delineating basins. From that, the CREAM also delineates hydrological response units. And at the end of the day, because some of these areas have no long-term meteorological records around the vicinity, we have the watch group forcing hydrology towards the CREAM. And what we want is to be able to store rainfall, snow melt, stream flow, and evaporation to a cloud. On the hydraulic model side of things, we want to use the PC swim to create a fill and spill relationship. And by doing this, we use tools like junction, ditch. We also use the outfall, and sometimes we use orifice in combination with delineating subcatchments to form this fill-spill basin relationship in the prairies. But this doesn't stop here, because at the end of the day, we want to be able to input the output from CREAM to get a full result. So because we didn't have access or the opportunity to go out and do field report, we went back to 2012 to look at a report where they assessed the Radisson area, Saskatchewan, and we only selected a site with one culvert. And the reason was because we wanted simplicity for our pilot study. So what we found was when we ran our full model for a very short period of time, the wettest period, we noticed that the peak flooding flow from our flood hazard map coincided with our peak runoff. But because we were more interested in what's happening on the road, we reduced our area and our model to a sub-model. And what we noticed was the road got flooded every year. So we decided to look at some culvert management solutions, and we increased our 450 current condition size culverts to 900, and also introduced 3 450mm culverts and 2 900mm culverts. And for these individual scenarios, we noticed that the 2 900mm culvert did very good, as we can see in our exceedance probability chart, and our return period where the days road flood depth exceeds the threshold of 0.02 meters. We did a final scenario where we didn't want a case where the road got flooded at any point in time, but that's only happened when we increased the size of the culvert from 450 to 1650. As you can see from the flood hazard map on the top bottom right, and the chart of a return period on the top left. But there were limitations. Runtime proved to be exhaustive using the 2D option and hexagonal mesh. Limited options in land cover parametric characterization, where there was no room to choose the percentage of bare soil to prairie grass and forest. No option for plastic culverts, and the small scale model that we did in our project did not fully represent flooded areas. But there are a few recommendations. No, I advise to use faster systems because I didn't have access to that and it was a little bit tedious. Spend more time in understanding SWIM and the tools. Be open to using other mapping tools like AutoCAD and incorporate that to ArcGIS, and also take advantage of local knowledge. So at the end of the day, this pilot study was a little bit successful, but with the help of the partner, Dr. Kevin Shug, Dr. Andrew Harrison, Dr. Laurie Bradford, and Chaiwater for providing PC Swim for this. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm open to questions.